In this tutorial, let us discuss how to read a value from console input. So, before watching this video, please watch my another video on how to use a printf function. In order to read value from the console input, we use a inbuilt library function called SCANF. This SCANF is a library function defined in the stdio.h header file. So, we use to store the variables. So, the SCANF we should use the appropriate format specifiers to read the values. So here I am declaring the integer variables a and b. So in order to read the values into these integer variables, I am using the integer format specifiers %d. So we should use in order to read these two variables, we have to use these two format specifiers. Whenever the compiler calls this scanf function, then these two %d format specifiers represent to read two values from the these are a and b are the variables to store the values read from the console input. So this and symbol is used to represent the address. So this enter statement represents that read a value from the console input and store it in the variable specified here. So this format specifier should be placed in between these double quotes, and this address symbol should be placed that it indicates the address of the variable. Compile and execute it and check whether it will read successfully or not. I'm compiling it. It is success with 0 errors and 0 warnings. So now execute it. So it is displaying the enter two values. I'm entering 10 and 15. It has read successfully the variables and displaying them as 10 and 15. So here in this printf I am displaying the variables which I have given as an input. The main reason to use scanf is to read the values at runtime. So by using a scanf function, there is no need to change the source code each and every time. We can directly give any values at the runtime during the execution of the program. So I'm using this printf statement here that to enter two values. So this is not necessary, but to have a better user interface should be given. So let's check what will happen if I skip this line. It's compiling. The compile status is success with 0 errors and 0 warnings. So if I execute it, it is displaying a blank screen. So now the user gets confused now what to do here without displaying that line. So actually we should enter two values to read here, but the user doesn't know what to do here, so he get confused here. So this is the problem arises if we do it here. So in order to avoid these type of problems, we'll print some message that enter two values, or if ever place this line displaying that enter two values. So the user understands that we need to enter two values here, so he will enter the input values whatever his might be. So it is displaying successfully. So this is a simple program to read values from the console input. So the possible mistakes we will do here is removing the AND symbol. So if you don't place any AND symbol here, the value won't be stored in this, and a default garbage value will be stored in these variables. So to avoid these types of problems, we use the AND symbol here. So but if you are using floating variables, then you have to use format specifier %f, and if you are using characters, then you have to use %c, and if you are using strings, then you have to use %s. So in the similar way, not only two variables, you can read any variables, any number of variables, and any variables of any data type. You should not make errors. That the main thing is the format specifier mentioned here and the data type of the variable here should match exactly. This is the basic principle to use scanf function in C. Thank you for watching this video.